translation played a central role in the development of the Yiddish theater. Almost as long as there has been Yiddish theater, writers have been translating and adapting dramatic classics from other languages into Yiddish. From ancient Greek drama to Shakespeare to Molière to modern plays by Ibsen, O'Neill, Gorky, Hauptmann, and others, Jewish audiences frequently encountered world theater on the Yiddish stage. Many of the first writers to translate canonical plays into Yiddish were inspired by the ideals of the Jewish Enlightenment and saw themselves as reformers who would elevate audiences' tastes in theater by exposing them to high European culture via the stage. In the late 19th century, modern Yiddish playwrights began to translate ancient Greek dramas for the Yiddish stage. These translations reflect a particular fascination with maternal characters in Greek drama. There are several versions of Medea in Yiddish, for example, each of which substantially alters the morally ambiguous character of Medea to better align with the more familiar archetype of the devoted Yiddische Mame of the Jewish stage. Jacob Gordon's Medea cannot bring herself to stab her children, so she poisons them instead, and then repents. Zalman Libin's Medea, living in a New York tenement, also poisons her child, and is so distraught upon seeing her daughter's death that she immediately kills herself. Mendel Elkin's 1935 adaptation of Oedipus the King into Yiddish similarly focuses on the character of Oedipus's mother, and emphasizes her grief at learning the truth about her son. Shakespeare's plays were also extremely popular in Yiddish translation, particularly in the United States. Beginning in 1893 with a series of productions of Hamlet and Othello, Shakespeare's plays were regularly performed on the Yiddish stage, including Coriolanus, King Lear, Macbeth, The Merchant of Venice, Richard III, and Romeo and Juliet. Jacob Gordon was one of the playwrights who frequently translated and adapted Shakespeare into Yiddish. Now, Gordon's Shakespeare translations were more like adaptations, and they had a bit of a formula. Pick a play, reset most of the action in Eastern Europe, and add some Jewish holidays and rituals to the mix. Judaized translations of Western classics were the norm on the Yiddish stage, not the exception. In any given season, it was not unusual for Yiddish theatergoers to be able to see Shakespeare, Molière, and O'Neill side by side with plays by Goldfaden, Asch, and Hirschbein. Many of these translations were beloved by Yiddish audiences, and some translated plays even became a part of the Yiddish canon themselves, like Oriel Acosta, an 1876 German play about a 17th century Jewish heretic that inspired dozens of Yiddish translations and hundreds of productions, and left many audience members believing that the play was actually a Yiddish original. Compelling, sometimes controversial, and frequently heavily adapted, translations of Western classics into Yiddish were a staple of the Yiddish theater repertoire.